many functions. Hi! In the previous video, we took our old functions and saw how to call it many times. It was very easy, right? There is one more super interesting thing about functions. Did you also know that in the same code, you can write many functions? Yes, we can. Let me repeat it. We can write many functions. So, how many functions can we write? Is there a limit? No, there is no limit. We can write any number of functions in the code and call all the functions. It is very interesting to know that we can write many functions in the code, isn't it? Yes. Let us go to Python and write many functions. In this example, we are going to write two functions in the same code. One is to add two numbers and the next one is to subtract two numbers. We already know this easy function to add two numbers. We also know very well how to write a function to subtract two numbers. So, I have already written that code here. Now, we have two functions here. One is to add two numbers and the next one is to subtract two numbers. Save the file and run the code. We do not get any output because, as you know very well, we have to call the function. Okay, let us first call the add function. So, we write add underscore numbers, open bracket, close bracket. Save the file and run the code. The output is printed as 15 after adding 10 and 5 from our add underscore numbers function. Then let us call the second function. So we write subtract underscore numbers, open bracket, close bracket. Save the file and run the code. The output is printed as 15 for the first function and 6 for the second function. See, we have written two functions and called both the functions and got two outputs. So, as I told you before, we can write many functions in the same code and call them. Now, let us see the next example of creating many functions in our code. This time, let us write two functions with lists. The first function is to append an item to the list and the second function is to remove an item from the list. Now, let us write the first function to append an item to a list. Okay, let us start the function with the def word and write the name of the function. Here, let us write it as add underscore item and put a colon and put open and close brackets before the colon. Press enter and now I'm creating a list of numbers with 3 items in it. So we write numbers equal to open square bracket 1, 2, 3 and close the square bracket. Now let us append 4 to our numbers list. Press enter and let us write numbers dot append open bracket 4 close bracket. Now let us print the list. So we press enter and write print open bracket numbers close bracket. We have written the first function. Now let us write the second function to remove an item from a list. So let us write a function with the name remove underscore item. Def space remove underscore item open bracket close bracket colon. Press enter and with the tab space write a list called num with 3 items in it. So we write num is equal to open square bracket 1, 2, 3 close square bracket. Now let us remove 2 from our list. Press enter and let us write num dot remove open bracket 2 close bracket. Press enter and now let us print the list. So we write print open bracket num close bracket. We have written the second function too. Now let us call our first function. So we use the name of the function to call them. Correct. So we write add underscore item open bracket close bracket. Save the file and run the code. The output is printed as 1, 2, 3, 4 inside the square brackets. We added 4. So now you can see 4 in the list. Now let us call the second function. So we write remove underscore item open bracket close bracket. Save the file and run the code. Now, in the output, you see one more line has been printed. That is the output of the second function. The second line has a list with only 2 values because 2 has been removed from the list and only 1 and 3 are remain. I hope you understand now how we can write many functions and call them in our code. In the examples, we wrote 2 functions in the code. But as I told you in the beginning of the video, we can write many functions in the code. So you can write 3, 4 or even 10 functions. If you're interested, you can also write add, subtract, append and remove in the same code and run it and see the output. See you all in another interesting video. Bye bye.